Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Roshidere episode number 3 reaction. Okay, the previous episode had a very interesting plot twist, I would say. Like I'm not really sure if that's what to call it, but basically we got to know that Yuki is actually Masachika's sister. And the way they actually, at least I got tricked, and I'm sure a lot of people who like haven't read the novel or anything, they definitely got tricked as well, because the way they like set that up was absolutely brilliant. They never really gave like any types of hint in the first episode, and bam, in the second episode, it was crazy. So that's what happened, and later on we meet up with Alya. Obviously Alya has no idea that she's his sister, so she's thinking, why the hell is Masachika with her and all these things. Then they had like spicy ramen. Then like Alia did like a little bit of shopping and stuff. We also had a conversation with Masachika about like the student council. A little bit of flashback we also saw of Masachika, and stuff like that. So let's see what happens today in this episode number 3. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it whichever is a preference, and let's get started. Right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Hmm. And so they met. Hmm? His sister? Oh, that's her name, Masha. Wait, I just realized something. Maybe it's her sister who Masachika um, was friends with, childhood friends? Like Masha? Oh no. Or maybe not. Okay. Yeah. Right. Well, you know what? Yeah, let's hear it. Like obviously we don't know how she met him. 6 years. Oh, okay. Okay. Damn, this is messing with me because I'm so used to hearing Japanese. Just messing with me. The world and okay. Oh yeah, bro, you guys, bro. Looking at this guy, I'm just essay. Okay, yo, this guy's he's like so much looks like Rudy. Oh yeah, damn. Oh boy, this became a whole quarrel. Hmm. Group B. Yeah. Okay. Obviously, their group couldn't win because none of them worked except her. I'll do my. Hmm. Well, and then fast forward, came to Japan. Yeah. Right. Hmm. Lived here until 5 years ago. Okay. Okay. So. Oh my god. Okay. Bro, wait. So he came in and just went to sleep without even checking who's in. Oh. Oh no. Right. Hmm. Oh, whoa. So a whole season passed. Shutters. Because she's like, I'll do everything on my own. If nobody takes it seriously, I will. It's just a school festival. Well, hmm. Ooh. Oh, she already has a lot of. Oh, Hmm. Sure. Hmm. Okay, that's nice. Oh, that's what she he was doing. You can see he has experience working in the student council. Yeah, I was just going to say he knows what to do in these type of situations. Hmm. Well, hmm, hmm. Wow, true. Good point. And also the fact that she's new here, like she doesn't really have anyone to properly, you know. I wouldn't really say new. She was here before, but obviously in the school she's completely. Hmm. Okay. Oh, overnight session. Everyone's like, yes. What? All right. There you go. Also, school festival in 6 days. Oh wow. Day Fall Festival. Wow. They ran out of the whole best attraction. There you go. This is what happens when you get help. The result becomes even better. The subtitles. Hmm. Yeah. Well, obviously. Damn. Oh, I see. That's interesting. Yeah, I guess that's one way to look at it. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and as he said, it defeats the whole purpose. It's supposed to be like a school festival, you know? Hmm. This is where that's why he calls her Alya. Hmm. Okay. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. She just said that she did ballet and now she's Oh god. Oh, right. Yeah. Mm. Okay, there you go. So that's how they met. Yeah. Good morning. Wow. Oh, she's going to speak Russian now. There you go. Well, this is where it starts. Wow. Yeah, after all the whole story. uh Oh, I was right. I was right. It was her. That's him. Oh my god. This is not good. I guess Masachika, that's why Sakun. Wait, so she doesn't know his full name? I guess. Oh wait, she never saw him. I guess like first time she's seeing him here properly. Okay. Wait, she realizes? Oh, here we go. Oh, she knows. Something behind. Yeah, well, there you go. Oh, okay. So, right. Does she know that he learned Russian to speak to her back when they were kids? If she knows that, then now this was like a test that she did. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yo. Well, right. Alyan. uh, hmm. Hmm. Okay. Oh. Okay, so that's why they live in like a. So Yuki went with her mother. Hmm. I see. So that's the situation. Does this to Alia. Oh, maybe she used to do this when they were kids as well. Oh! Hey! Oh! Oh my god! Alia's pissed. Oh. Alright, that was a nice episode. Okay, new ending. Okay. I'm assuming this is also a cover song of some other, you know. And that was today's episode. Okay, today's episode actually had quite a few things. Like, first of all, we get the little flashback of Alya and, Masachika's meeting, how they met, how they became friends, and all that. And then we had the final part with Masha and her realizing that Masachika is actually her childhood friend. So, a few things. Number one, you know what, like I was thinking when they showed her, and then the very first scene when they showed Masha, Alya comes in and, Masha hugs her and everything. I was looking at her and I was like, wait a minute. She, like her hairstyle and like, her light colored hair reminds me of that, like Masachika's childhood friend that we saw in a flashback in the first episode. And I was thinking, wait a minute, she's her sister, she's Alya's sister. Doesn't that mean there's a high possibility that she might be the one who was Masachika's childhood friend? And that's why I was like, oh, is she his childhood? But then I was like, okay, but if she was, his childhood friend, like, doesn't she realize that this is him? Now at that point of time, I wasn't aware that she wasn't acquainted with Masachika. Like, like she, like I didn't realize that. So I thought that just like how Alya knew Masachika here, she also knew him, you know but I guess, it makes sense. Obviously she's just her sister, so she didn't know him properly. And which got cleared up in the end, where we see when Masachika goes to the student council and she was like, oh, you must be Alia's friend. And I was like, oh wait, so she doesn't know him personally. Then, like, and then obviously, it's pretty obvious by then, because just a few moments before that we saw her taking out the pendant, and inside it there was a, picture. And I was like, yeah, so there you go, I was correct. I guess, it makes sense, because obviously there's, like there's Alya, and then if his childhood friend wasn't Alya, who else would it be? Obviously there's only one person left, her sister. you know and there was a possibility, though, that some other character might have been his childhood friend, who we will be introduced later. There was also that possibility, but obviously for now I was like, there's a big possibility that she might be his childhood friend. And there you go, that was correct. That was a, like that was what exactly happened. And yeah, I guess I kind of saw her, like, hairstyle, and I was like, maybe that's her. Because her hairstyle resembled the first episode, that girl's hairstyle, a little bit. So I was like, yeah, there's a high possibility. But I didn't really think about it that much, because I thought that she knows Masachika personally. So I was like, if she knows him personally, why, like, does she not realize that this is him? That was the only thing that was making me think that, oh, maybe this is not his childhood friend. But there you go, in the end we get to know that she wasn't personally acquainted with Masachika. Yeah, and as soon as she took out the locket, I was like, oh my god, yep, I was correct, it's her. But I guess that wasn't really that much of a, like, like a, what can I say, like a deduction, because there's only, like, if it's not Alya, there's only one character left who, who is of the same age of Masachika, that is Alya's sister, who can speak Russian, or who is Russian. Yeah. So there you go. So yeah, that was like the two big things in today's episode: Alya's past, and, like, Masha's connection with Masachika got revealed here. So a few things I have to talk about here. Number one, obviously you can see Alya was like a type of person who always gave her all in everything, and that kind of made her disliked by a lot of her similar age, like, like classmates. They were like, oh, we can do it later, like, while Alya was like, no, if nobody's going to do it, I'll do it on my own. I'll give everything on my own. I'll accomplish it on my own. Like, that was Alya. And she grew up like that. And then obviously she came to Japan, and she, like, got like admitted and like took admission in this school and met Masachika. And to someone like her who takes everything seriously, Masachika's like wishy-washy like actions, like sleeping, just like not putting enough effort, that she kind of didn't really like look it in a positive took it in a positive way. But that whole like thing changed when in the student during the festival, when Masachika comes in and tells her that, oh, like we can do it together. Now, here's the thing. Obviously, you can see by the way Masachika came in and the way he was saying like, oh, you know what, I have everything planned. I announced it to the boys that they can help out, and they'll probably try to do it to show off in front of the others, you know, and that's how I'm going, like, the motivation will be high over there, so don't worry about it. The overnight staying is also going to keep their motivation up. Not only that, like he like literally like he planned the whole thing, and he knew what to do, how to do, to make the others work. This is very, I guess you could say, this kind of shows that she has quite a good amount of experience doing these type of things, which like needs leadership. Like, it makes sense, he was like in the student council along with his sister, so it makes sense why he is so like why he knew what exact buttons to push for this to to accomplish something, and he did exactly all of that. And at first Alia was like, didn't really expect any result to come out of that. But you can see the next day, when everyone was like all hyped up and they were like, oh, let's do this, Alia is baffled. She's like, wait, what happened? She probably didn't expect everything to work this smoothly and everyone actually helping out. Now, there's one thing that Alia says here, obviously, as she's not really used to taking others' help, or she usually does it everything on her own. She said this to Masachika. She said something like, oh, if like if nobody does this or takes it seriously, am I in the wrong to take it seriously? Isn't this something that everyone should do? But if everyone is not doing it, I'm taking it seriously, so why am I at the wrong here? At which Masachika says that that's because this is a what's it called, like school festival. Yeah, this is a school festival. All of us are supposed to be working together, and that is what it means to, like, that is what the essence is of a school festival. Not one person doing everything and accomplishing it, which is true. He's not wrong. Where's that part? The whole point of them is for us all to work together to create something. If you want to make it the best it can be, then you should be focusing on how to motivate the whole class, don't you think? Yeah, and he's not wrong though. Like, it's a school festival, so obviously. But then again, he says that I'm also, like, there's no use telling this to you because you're only a lone person. So I guess my bad. I shouldn't have said that to you. But at the like in the end, he was correct, because it is a school festival. So one person is impossible. First of all, it's impossible for one person to do everything. Like, it's not possible. It's like out of like a human possibility, that is. You have a limited deadline and you have to do so many things. No. So that's number one. Number two, if you want to do it properly and make it the best thing, then as Masachika says, the best thing to do is not give your all in trying to do every other people's job, but making sure everyone does their part. Like, put effort into doing that. And this is such a great thing. If you think about it, what Masachika is basically saying is that you're putting effort in the wrong place. To make this work, you have to put effort in the correct place, which is actually so true. Not only here, I feel like this is something that is very important in real life as well. Like, there's sometimes like we put effort into the wrong thing and then realize later on that, oh, we aren't supposed to be doing it like this, we're supposed to be doing it like this. We're putting effort in the wrong thing from the beginning. We should have went through this path. If you put effort in this thing, then it would have worked out eventually, like that kind of thing. So it's very important to know where to put effort. Now that is what happens, and now that is, how you can expect a good result. Like, yeah, sometimes giving your all is definitely required, but not all the time. Sometimes you need to be careful in what you put your effort. If you put your effort into the wrong thing, it's just not going to work, that kind of thing. So yeah, and obviously Alya, she has her past experience. She knows, like she's too much, like she's too meticulous about this. So, and she also knows that Masachika is correct, so she couldn't really say anything and she left. But then we saw in the next day, everyone was like hyped up about it, and by the end of it, Alya realizes that Masachika was correct, and she sits down beside him and says that, yeah, you know what, you were correct, I was wrong, and I'm also sorry for taking it out on you. So like that whole thing, and that is where like Masachika was like, all right, so let me call you Alya, your nickname. And you can see, like, this is the thing. I guess you could say Masachika is the type of person who isn't, because of that past experience, she lost her, I guess you could say, faith in other people helping out. So even though it seems like she's very, like she's like this Ojo-sama, like, and everything, and she's not really socially that, I guess you could say, capable in, like, talking to people, and, like, socially, she's not like really socially, she's kind of like socially awkward, because of that incident. It took out all her faith in other people, I guess. So that is why you can see here, when everyone was like, oh, like, Alisha-san, can I dance with you, this and that, she was saying like no, but like the people were just so like over the top. She couldn't really say anything properly, and she properly couldn't stand her ground, which is when Masachika was like, all right, so let me help her out, and takes her and dances with her. And that is where she started liking him. Obviously she is denying that in front of Masha, but it's pretty damn obvious. But yeah, and this is where Masha's like, oh, like, like, what does she call him? Wait a minute. Sachan or something? Sakun, sorry. She's like, oh, like Sakun, and I was also like that. And I was like, oh my god, this Sakun, I know who it is. Immediately, I was like, yep, I know who this is. Right. And then the final section where she realizes that this is the Masachika who her sister talks about, and immediately realizes that this is also her childhood friend. Now, this is a very complicated situation, because obviously you can see that she knows what's happening. She knows her sister likes him, but at the same time, she also realizes this is that person that I used to, be friends with, and I also kind of like. So it's a complicated situation, because obviously I feel like she's going to be the type of character who would try to keep her feelings bottled up because of her sister. She'll probably be that type of character, and I think like the whole drama regarding this relationship is going to go in that direction. At least with her whole thing will be, she'll try to keep it a secret. At least that's what I think. Who knows, maybe this show will surprise me in a different way, but at least this is how I think will go. She'll try to keep it secret, like bottle up her feelings, and Masachika will probably always get this familiar feeling from her, and who knows, maybe one day he'll realize that, oh, this is the same girl that I used to play with. But I guess by that time maybe he'll get more, I don't know, he'll start liking Alya, and I don't know, I'm not really sure, but I can pretty much say that she's probably that type of character who'll keep her feelings bottled because of her sister and something like that. But then again, like I said, who knows, the show can surprise me. The second episode in itself surprised me, so maybe it's going to go in a different direction, and maybe I'll get surprised. We'll see. Either way, yeah. Now, a few other things about Masha. One thing you can see, she speaks Russian here. Now, here's the thing. I'm not 100% sure. Masachika did say that she was learning Russian to talk to her. I'm assuming she knew that when she was a kid. I'm assuming Masachika probably told her that, oh, you know what, I'm learning Russian because I want to talk to you properly. and he probably tried speaking Russian with her, and tried to show her like the efforts, his efforts, and the fruits of his efforts, or something like that. And maybe they talked in Russian now and then. If that's the situation, if she knows that when they were children, Masachika used to try to learn Russian so that he could speak to her, that would mean that she knows he can understand Russian. So her saying Russian here will probably mean that she was trying to test him to see whether, like, I don't know, like I don't know, it's probably some kind of a test. She spoke Russian there, and when Masachika was like, oh, what did you say? She stops and, oh, sorry, I said, shall we get going? So, or maybe not, maybe, okay, you know what, no, scratch that. I think what happened is, like, she probably thought that he knows Russian, because I'm assuming Masachika told him that when they were kids, that I'm trying to learn Russian because I want to speak to you. So she probably thought that he knows Russian, so she spoke. But when Masachika said that, oh, sorry, what did you say? You can see she stops suddenly. Maybe that surprised her, and she was like, wait a minute, doesn't he know Russian? Maybe something like that happened. Again, I'm not really sure what lies behind that smile, because there must be something. She either is surprised that he couldn't understand Russian, or maybe she realized that he's, I don't know. You know what? I'm not really sure, because this is the thing. She has no way of knowing that he is trying not to show others that he understands Russian, because Alya speaks these type of Russian, like these her feelings in Russian, and to keep that a secret that he understands that, he's doing this, like he's making it as if like he doesn't understand. She has no way to know that. So that, like, now that she's seeing that he doesn't understand, she'll probably take it as like, oh, he doesn't know Russian. So you know what, I don't know even what I am saying, but I feel like like this again, like, might have become a misunderstanding, because she now thinks that he doesn't understand Russian, because in no way she has like any idea that he is acting as if he doesn't know Russian, because he doesn't want Alya to know that. She has no way of knowing that. So she must have taken this as face value, and she probably now is like, oh, so he doesn't understand Russian. Who knows? I'm not really sure. Anyways, let's wait and see. And yeah, and in the end, you can see when she kind of pats his head, Masachika also kind of was like, oh my god, this is like a very familiar feeling. So I'm assuming she did this before when they were kids as well. So yeah. And there you go. That was today's episode. All right. Okay, I'm going to go through this part a little bit faster, like, because I have to go now. I'm a little bit busy. But yeah, I'm just going to see if I missed anything. The scene by scene discussion, I'll try to end it quick today. So let's see. Okay, first scene, Masha and Alya. Alya, talks about Masachika, and she's like, oh, like, so there's finally someone that you like. And obviously Alya is denying it, and that is when we get to know her story, where back in, when she was in Russia, she used to take everything very seriously. In her school, there was a assignment that, oh, go and ask, like, people what job they do, all that stuff. And she took it very seriously. All the others were like, oh, like, what the hell, there's so much time, we don't need to do it that quickly. What's funny, this part, I was, I just realized when, like, this whole part was in fully Russian, so they were like, putting the Japanese subtitles and the English subtitles, and I just realized how much I'm accustomed to hearing Japanese and reading English. And this is the thing, since I've been watching anime for so long, sometimes I actually don't even need to read the subtitles. I can understand what they're saying. So I'm so used to it, I just casually look at the subtitles and I hear what they're saying, and I can kind of construct what they're saying without even properly paying attention to the subtitles. That's my situation when I hear Japanese and read English nowadays. It's like a mixture. Like, I can understand what they're saying, and I just very casually look at the subtitles. I was doing the same thing here, and literally nothing was going through my head because I don't understand Russian. So I had to like properly concentrate on what the subtitles were saying, and I'm like, god damn, I'm just so accustomed to hearing Japanese, and since I kind of understand Japanese, I'm so accustomed to casually looking at the subtitles, but that's not going here. I have to properly concentrate because I don't understand Russian. Good god. Anyways, I went on a tangent there. It's just a funny experience. Right. Anyways, so yeah, they were like, oh, there's a long amount of time. We don't need to do it this quick. This is where, like Alya kind of gets angry and she's like, come on, we're doing something. We should do it properly. And she got into a quarrel and, and then she was like, I'm going to do everything on my own. And unfortunately, their group ended up losing, obviously. But this is where Alya was like, no, from here onwards, like if there's no one with me, I will do everything on my own. And this is where you can see her whole personality got like sculpted. She became like this. She became someone who does everything on her own, doesn't ask for help because she doesn't believe in other people, and and if they will help her. And obviously this also probably was the reason why she became so socially awkward. Yeah. So then you can see she comes to the new school, and there you go. Okay, so she says she was here. I lived here until 5 years ago. Okay, so they used to live here, and 5 years ago they went to Russia and went back to Russia, I'm guessing, and now they're back here again. And obviously, which also kind of lines up with Masachika and Masha, because Masachika used to, like talk with Masha and play with her up until 5 years ago, and then they moved, and now they're back. Now obviously he has no idea that Masha is back. He doesn't know that this is the same girl. So okay, anyways, that was that. And this is where he meets Masachika, and you can see that she sees Masachika's like lazing around, like doing like like asking like his friends for books. In PE he's just like just waddling around, not giving her his all. And his impression of Masachika was like, a wishy-washy type of guy. Yeah, whatever. So one whole season passes, and then the student cultural festival, everyone was like, oh, like Alisha-san, let's go back home. And she's like, oh, it's fine, it's okay. So everyone goes back home. She pierces herself, and she's like, I have to do this alone. Obviously she's sad that nobody's helping, but this is how as she said, this is how I'm used to it. And this is where Masachika comes in, and he's like, oh, like I have gotten the permission to stay overnight at school, especially when like this will light a fire under the unmotivated folks too. He says, and he's like, yeah, I did all of this using this time, and there you go, everything is perfect, everything will work out. So there's no need for you to give so much effort. As soon as he says this, Alya reacts, and Alya's like, why? Obviously because it, like in her head, that seemed like something that everyone tells her, and and she kind of like her outburst came out, and she's like what the hell? Like, no, like is it wrong for me to try to make something better? Is it wrong for me to try in something where others are not trying? Yeah. Am I doing anything wrong? At which he says like, no, like no, he says like, yeah, like what you're getting wrong here is that this is supposed to be a school festival. Doing it alone defeats the whole purpose of it. And if you want to have good results, you should be putting effort in the correct thing. You should have been putting effort into motivating the others to help you out, and doing everything together, instead of doing it on something on your own. Like I said, this is very true. As Masachika says, putting effort is important, but you have to put effort in the correct thing and the correct way. If you put it in the wrong thing, you'll never get any type of result. And Alya then leaves, and then next day Alya sees that everyone's super motivated, and the whole thing goes smoothly. After the school festival ends, Alya comes and sits down beside Masachika, and and yeah, she talks to him, talks about like the folk dance and all that. She says, I do ballet, so I'm sure I'll be able to nail this, all that stuff. and she also apologizes, and this is where she says, like, like, let me do something for you, like anything. At which he's like, okay, so here's the thing, um doesn't isn't there a Russian custom where people call each other by their special nicknames? This is the thing. I feel like he knows this because he probably knows this from Masha when they were kids. Masha probably mentioned this to him, you know and I guess that is why I'm assuming Masha probably gave her nickname to him, and he gave and she gave a nickname to Masachika. She calls him Sakun, yeah, something like that, I think. Yeah, Sakun, I think that was it. She calls him. So I'm assuming she knows his full name. That's why she was able to understand that this is the same like person I used to play with. However, I think Masha gave her nickname to him. Maybe that is why Masachika cannot put two and two together and realize, oh, this is the same girl I used to play with, because he probably only knows her nickname. I'm assuming something like that happened. Like she probably said that, oh, this is what, like in Russian custom to people call each other by their special nicknames. Here's my special nickname. Maybe something like that happened, and that's why Masachika cannot understand, even though like does he know her full name? I'm not even sure about that. If he knows Masha's full name, then I'm assuming like he cannot put two and two together, because Masha probably never gave her name to him, probably gave him her nickname or something like that. Anyways, I'm not 100% sure, but either way, so then he's like, okay, like, what's your, and she says like, oh, my name is Alya. Then he's like, okay, so I can call you, like, let me give me the permission to call you that. Later on, a few guys come and tries to dance with her, but she's uncomfortable. Obviously, she's very socially awkward. So Masachika helps her out, takes her hand, and he's like, you said that you can do ballet, so I'm sure you can nail this perfectly, wouldn't you? And she's like, yeah, let's do it. Next day, you can see Alya, this is the first time Alya speaks Russian here, to hide her feelings. Like Masachika's like, oh, why are you looking at me as if you're looking at human garbage? And she's like, yeah, you scum, or something like that, she says. And then she says, just when I thought you were cool last night. She says this in Russian, and this is where it starts. And I can probably imagine how baffled Masachika was at this point, because he understands Russian. He probably was like, wait, what? And then realized she cannot really tell her that she understands Russian, because then she'll get embarrassed, and he kept it a secret. And oh boy. Anyways, so after that, like, this is where Masha says like, oh, Sakun was also like that with me, and immediately I was like, oh my god, here we go, I knew it. Right, next scene, we can see this is where properly Masha meets Masachika in the student council, and she grabs his hand, and this is where she's like, wait a minute, what's your full name? And he tells his full name, and she just stops, because I'm sure a lot of things are going in her head at that moment. First of all, the realization this is the same kid she used to play with, realization that his sister likes him, and realization that she cannot say or bring out her feelings. She has to bottle it up from here onwards, because her sister likes him. All these things probably went through her head at that same moment. Anyways, and then they move, they went forward. She speaks Russian here, and like I said, I'm not 100% sure why she got startled there. Maybe she thought that he knows Russian, but the fact that he's hiding it, maybe that she didn't understand why he's like, I don't know, but something like, like made her flinch. She kind of stopped when he said that, oh, what did you say? When she spoke Russian. Anyways, then they went to this plushies store. She's like buying some plushies. She buys one which looks like Alya. She calls her Alyanya. And then after that they went to like a tea place where they get in, and this is where we also get to know Masachika's, I guess you could say, familial situation. Like she says like his mother, like, taught like Yuki to like for like tea ceremony and all that type of things. That's what he was thinking. If Yuki was here, she would be able to talk to her about these type of things. I don't know anything about this, and this is where we get to know the past, where we get to know his father and his mother got divorced. His mother, no, sorry, his sister was extremely sick at that moment, I'm guessing. That is why she stayed with her mother, you can see, and Masachika went with his father. So that's how they got separated, and I guess they still obviously live, different places. Previous episode, that's why Masachika was not surprised, but Masachika was like, what the hell are you doing here? So they don't really live together as a family. They live separately. Masachika probably lives with his dad, or his dad lives somewhere else and he's living alone. And I'm guessing Yuki lives with her mother or something like that. Anyways, and he kind of thinks of all of this, and he's kind of sad, and that is when Masha comes in and like pats his head. He realizes that this is a very familiar feeling. He couldn't put his finger on it, and then she almost burns him with the tea. This part is pretty funny, where we see they zoom in on the cat's face, obviously because that is Alya, supposed to be Alya. So Alya's pissed. They kind of showed it in that way, in a symbolic way. So yeah, there you go. That was it, guys. That was my reaction to this episode. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna end it here quickly, and I have to go. So thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.